really like to. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's like,
You want to walk it. Just put it out.
no, you're fine because I mean you're going to come
Views
into
and
the show.
opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's hosts, guests, and viewers, and we are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of our sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show in the hope that it will be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Infidels, welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers.
Tonight brought to you by Funpoint Food and Arcade in Stark. Check out all the new menu on Facebook, www.funpointstark.com.
Glad to have you along tonight. I am Byron Bagwell.
I'm Mitchell Gunter. Welcome, everyone.
This is your show coming to you on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday and Saturday nights. You control and run this show. We're just the rudder that steers this big old vessel.
We bring it to you first from education, discussion, debate, and local news, politics, and sports, as well as the latest on the COVID-19 situation.
We have you covered from Middleburg to Melrose, McIntosh to Lake City, to Blake Butler to Lake Como, from Waldo to Williston, from Lottie to Lulu, where guess what? I saw some of David Rodgers' relatives. Well, never mind. We'll talk about that later. And all points in between, including Gainesville, Palatka, and of course right here in beautiful Stark.
Now here is your on-the-spot team making it happen every single week. First, putting it all together behind the scenes, our executive producer, Dave Holland.
And keeping the flow to the show is our director, Michael, the Dragon Slayer Heater. Rounding out the team is Austin Storm Chaser Stevens, John Better Than Snopes Probst, who is in the studio tonight with us.
And our great media partners, Eagle Country 106.3 FM and the Bradford County Telegraph.
And now, here is your host, the voice of the Bradford County High Tornadoes, and the show buddy, Mr. David Rodgers.
Woohoo! Welcome in, guys. Welcome in, guys. Boy, I tell you what, Heater, you had them guys on the dadgum string there, didn't you, buddy? I tell you, great job on opening up the show, guys. Again, my name is David Rodgers, right along left, right here, Mr. Byron Bagwell. To my right, Mr. Mitchell Gunter, Mr. Michael Heater with us, Dave Holland, and John Better Than Snopes Probst making his way up from Tampa, Florida. We are coming to you live from the On the Spot studios right here along historic Hall Street in beautiful downtown Stark, Florida. Only 598 miles from Flippin', Kentucky. Speaking of you seeing my relatives in Lulu, how about your relatives in Flippin', Kentucky?
Well, when they talk about flipping, I thought they were talking about flipping for bass for a minute, so I thought that might have been all right.
No, you were flipping for flipping.
I was flipping for one of those gigantic toads in one of those Kentucky lakes.
Yeah, I hear you. So let's get started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic wisdom quote of the week. Let's go into prayer. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day, dear Lord. Let's thank you for everything that you've done for us throughout this week, dear Lord, throughout this great weekend, this Labor Day weekend, dear Lord, and what you're going to do for us from here out. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the United States of America, the freest, the most powerful country in the world, dear Lord, the most independent country that this world has ever seen, this great United States of America. Thank you for the best and the greatest armed forces in the world today. That's our United States military. Thank you, and keep a hedge of protection over those guys and those gals and those women that are fighting now and who have fought for our rights and our freedoms and our liberties. Thank you for the food that we receive each and every day that goes into the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Any spoken or unspoken prayer requests, dear Lord, you touch their hearts, touch their minds, and touch their souls. You know their needs, their wants, and what needs to be done there, dear Lord. You are the ultimate healer and the ultimate comforter. Again, thank you for letting me be once again here with our on-the-spot staff, my great brothers, my great friends. And thank you for just letting us be able to do this one more time. Again, we ask for all these things and more in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says,
Amen.
I will stand for the pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. John Probst if he'd lead us tonight in our pledge.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the show again. We got our patriotic wisdom and quote of the week, and Mr. Bagwell to my left has got one. What is that one, Mr. Bagwell?
Well, I keep on going back to this one, but it's so well fits.
Okay.
And it's the John Jay quote.
Uh-huh.
The fools and knaves of this world are forever in alliance.
Tell us a little bit about that. Can you explain just a tad?
Well, yeah, just
a tad.
talking about it, people that want their own ways always have a problem with somebody else getting their ways, are forever in alliance with each other, trying to make people's lives miserable.
And that's a great and nice way to break that, Byron. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the spot with David Rodgers. This one's going to cost me $5 because I had my volume up on my phone. So, speaking of that, Michael, I want you to get into here a little bit later on our fundraiser again that we're continuing on with the Bradford County Food Pantry.
Yeah.
So, let's get started here, as we always do. Before we delve into today's latest and greatest, we want to recognize our great sponsors who have been working hard with limited staff and changing hours. This is our sponsor spotlight. Fun Point Food and Arcade. We were supposed to have Mr. Harry Patel here. Hasn't reached out to us yet, but maybe he will come in before the show's over. Southern Gem Photography, Miracle Automotive and Recovery, and Dependable Waste Services.
Williams Jewelry on Call Street. Brittany Leanne Creations. Designs by Probes. And on-the-spot lawn maintenance.
Good job.
Hey, high five, high five, Mitchell, all right. Hey.
Harry Business of Stark, Boogie Nights DJ Service, Schuster and Sabin Law Offices, and the Downtown Grill. By the way, thank you so much, Miss Chrissy, for the cups. We really, all of us really love them.
Yes, we do, and I should have brought that one in the show, and maybe I'll go out and get it in just a little bit. And now here's our all-new news segment. We call it the 360. We take you around the community and around the country in 6 minutes. It's 360 degrees and 360 seconds. Tonight, brought to you by Southern Gem Photo Booth. Call for an appointment at 904-263-6079 and let Megan not only bring fun to your event, Byron, she can make it picture perfect. A supposed peaceful protest in Williston over alleged police violence turned into a block party that led to 6 people being shot this morning. Coincidentally, the police were not involved until after that shooting. Imagine that. 2 of the victims were from Gainesville. The other 4 were from Ocala.
Imagine that.
Yeah, 1 victim remains in critical condition as of 3 hours ago. Hundreds of people gathered at the intersection of County Road 318 and US 27 alternate route in East Williston around 3 a.m. and left a massive amount of trash and debris after everyone left following the shootings. Previously, a teen from Marion County was arrested following a shooting at a previous private party a week ago. An estimated 60 people were gathered south of Williston when a fight broke out. A juvenile was arrested shortly after midnight on Tuesday after attempting to flee on foot. They located a firearm in his possession, which was reportedly stolen from Marion County. Anyone who witnessed this shooting or shootings or has video of the fight or shooting is asked to contact detectives at 352-486-5111. You may also remain anonymous by contacting Crime Stoppers at 1-877-349-8477. At least 7 students were slightly injured when a Union County school bus crashed into a ditch Thursday morning. Investigators say the school bus crashed into a ditch at the intersection of Southwest 72nd Street and County Road 796 Thursday morning after the driver looked in the rearview mirror when a student stood up. By the time the driver's eyes returned to the roadway, he was unable to stop at a stop sign in time, driving into the ditch, striking his sign and fence. Paramedics from Union and Bradford counties took all the students to area hospitals to be checked out. A 13-year-old boy was arrested after making threats to shoot people on a social media app at Lake Asbury Junior High School in Clay County Wednesday afternoon. A girl at the school saw the post and reported to a teacher, who then forwarded the information to the school resource officer. When officials contacted the child, he was in possession of a Colt rifle and ammunition. Great report by that girl, huh?
She saved.
She saved a lot of lives that day, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's so important when you know something, make sure you tell.
it.
And yay, you can remain anonymous. Your name don't have to be on there. I know snitches get stitches, but in that case, she saved Mitchell hundreds of lives.
And I tell you what, I think she deserves an award from the county commissioners and also from the school board for reporting.
And how about the sheriff's office probably as
As
well?
well.
You got that
Or
right.
possibly the governor.
Maybe. Here now is your weather update, sponsored by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook for the latest information. And guess what? I'm going to turn it over to our very own director, Michael, the Renegade Heater.
Hey, thanks, David. I appreciate it. Hey, heat advisories were posted earlier today as the heat index topped out around 110 degrees under sunny skies. Pipe down, sister. Much of the West remains at elevated fire weather risk as California continues to battle fires covering nearly 1 million acres. Another firefighter has passed away as a result of this one, bringing the death toll of firefighters to 5 and nearly 15 civilians. 45,000 properties, structures, etc. have been lost, and we are still early in the wildfire season out west as we go along. Thunderstorms return to the forecast tomorrow, mainly during the afternoon hours. Heat index values, once again, 105 to 110 expected for the rest of this week. And we're looking at quiet in the tropics. Austin is, however, keeping an eye on a few areas of disturbed weather. Nothing of any threats at this time, but he will keep us up to date.
Michael, let me ask you a question before you bring it back to me. Again, I asked this of Austin last week. Any relief coming for those wildfires out in California? Any rain, any kind of a front coming through there that you're aware of or possibly to help these guys out?
Yeah, unfortunately, the way the topography is in California, they get frontal boundaries that come in all the time. The
Right.
problem is that the way that they approach any moisture that's accumulated falls on the eastern side of the Sierra Madre Mountains.
That's what I
So
was gonna say.
the winds, because of this temperature changes on the ground, the winds pick up out off the mountains going out towards the west side of California. The eastern part of California, where they get the rain, is actually doing very well. You won't see any type of relief until we get into the winter months when the winter storms coming off the Pacific Northwest will dump more rain and eventually some snow. But to be honest with you, I don't see any relief for California in at least the next 8, 10, maybe even 12 weeks.
Oh, boy, that's not good news, Michael, because
No, it's
these
not.
guys are out there battling. That's what, firefighters now that's lost their lives out there?
Yeah, 5 firefighters have perished, about 15 or so civilians in a variety of different areas. Some of those have been medically related, but they're all tied into the fires. And 40,000 homes or so have been lost. They are getting a handle on it because they're focusing their energies on protecting the properties they can during the day, but mounting aggressive attacks between 3 and 7 a.m. when the winds die down.
That's great. That's great news. At least there's some sort of a little bit of news relief. Thank you again to Michael. And once again, this weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find AWS on Facebook and get a local forecast sent right to you. And now here is our newest segment that brings back a little history. This is our on-the-spot version of Byron, What's the Date? Have you got one right yet?
Yes.
Really?
Multiples.
Yeah, I want you to go back and prove it.
Okay.
All right.
We can do that.
All right, thank you.
If it helps any, I've gotten them all.
Yes, you have.
Yes.
That's because you make them up.
Here are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph. The first week of September in what year? Tropical Storm Hannah could threaten Florida. Alcohol suspected in State Road 100 crash. And the Kennel Club meets the candidates. What year was that? Was it September 2008, September 2010, or September 2012? The answer is coming up, but I'll go back and read that. Here are the headlines for the Bradford Telegraph. The first week of September in what year? Tropical Storm Hannah could threaten Florida. Alcohol suspected in State Road 100 crash. And Kennel Club meets the candidates. Here we go. Was it September 2008, September 2010, September of 2012? That answer is coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your chance to try to guess what year that is. And before we go any further, I asked if we had a trivia question. I do. In the movie Roadhouse, I want to know who Patrick Swayze's name was in that movie. I want to know what Sam Elliott's name was in that movie. And I also want to know what their titles are. What were their titles? What was their job? What did they call themselves? And Michael Heater's all over this one.
Yes.
I want to know that. In the movie Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze's character is named what? In the same movie, Sam Elliott's character's named what? And I want to know what their job titles are.
I'm going to tell you I'm disqualifying myself from this one.
I know it because you know them all, don't you?
I've watched that movie probably 50 times.
You know, that's one of my
That's the
favorite
same here.
movies in
I
the world.
can't.
That's one of my favorite movies in the world. Mitchell, do you know some of it?
I know some of it.
Okay. Well, let's see if our
All I can
great
say is
people.
don't eat the big green mint.
That's it. Don't do that. Yes. Hey, you'll have to save the world, cowboy. Yeah. Remember that.
But a bear fell on me.
A bear fell on me.
I don't think I'm in the right age.
Hey, how about this one? I ain't got $20. And remember what happened after that, don't you? Anyway, we'll see what happens. I want to welcome in Austin Stevens, Roy Jackson, Lisa Tomlinson. Good evening. Hope you had a great day, too. We did as well. Hope you enjoyed listening to the broadcast. Vincent Tucker out of Arizona. Hello, Vincent Tucker. Say hello to Vincent.
Hey, Vincent.
Yeah, Donald Stevens is on. Vincent says, salute to the United States Armed Forces. John Brooks is on tonight, even though he's here with us. Mary Rainbolt is on. Melissa Delk, good evening, gentlemen. David, thank you again for answering my question earlier. Melissa Delk is my neighbor, and she had asked me about something me and you have already talked about, and we're going to get into that here in just a little bit.
We've already got the right answer on here, I believe.
Okay, well, we'll see. Jason Vaughn, Sarge, Big Sarge, what's up? Say hello to Sarge.
What's going on, Sarge?
So Sarge. Sarge said he'd like to meet all you guys, and we will one day. Maybe we'll do a show from Lake City. You know what?
We can do that.
I will tell you what. We can either do it from one of our conference rooms in New Millennium, or we can do it from our training room. How about we do that from New Millennium in Lake City?
That's
Great internet service.
Oh, well, then I'm all over.
Are we
thinking
all over
about
that? We'll take a little ride.
we can eat.
And then and that's exactly right. Texas Roadhouse. All that stuff's over there. Where do you want to go?
Country time buffet.
Okay, we're going to open up the Tom Buffet.
Don't worry, brother. You're invited if we go.
Yeah, there you go. Anthony Black's on. Jason Vaughn says 2010. All right. Is Mr. Heater smiling? He's like, I don't know. Melissa Dill says 2008. He ain't changed. Lynn Duke Sanders, Dalton, Wade, and Bouncers. You got 2 of the 3 right. There's one part that's wrong.
What's the
So-
last name?
So, and we can go that way too. Dalton is, of course, Patrick Swayze. Wade is what? Wade Garrett is, is Sam Elliott.
Sam
We
Elliott.
know Dalton.
You're too excited for this.
Give me just a second.
Okay, I'll
I know
give you
what
a
his
second.
last name is.
Bouncers Lynn is wrong, but you're in the right area. Jason Vaughn, I should know that, but I don't. Anthony Black says 2005. I don't remember that being there, Anthony, but it's 2008, 2010, and 2012. Yes. So, anybody else got anybody on? Who you got on?
Yeah, pretty much the same people you got on. I didn't share it
All
tonight.
right. Who do you got on, Mitchell?
Nobody.
Blank screen. David, who do you got?
Oh, I got Jesse Adams.
Hey, Jesse!
Yeah, Candy Bradshaw.
Okay.
She's down in South Florida. Travis Woods.
Okay.
John Hodges.
John Hodges.
Yes, sir. Robert Lester. B.J. Ransom.
DJ Ransom.
Yes,
Boy,
sir.
I could sure do something with that.
Yep.
Down.
Right down, sister.
Pipe it down. All right. Sarge is right. Dalton and Wade are coolers.
That's correct.
The bouncers answer to the coolers. The coolers will let you know when to do what. And that's exactly right.
The key there is be nice.
Be nice.
And I will tell you
That's right.
when it's time to no longer
Be nice. That's right. And never fight inside. Always
Take
fight
it out.
outside.
That's right.
Except when Pretty Boy Floyd wanted to take on everybody in the bar there. What's his name? What was his name in the movie? Golly. What was his name in the movie? The older guy, the older fellow's name. What was his name? Anyway, when he brought out his pretty boy out there to fight everybody.
The rich
Oh,
guy.
my God.
Yeah.
Hold on. It'll come in a minute. Hang on.
That would have been a good one.
I'll think of it. Keep going. Keep
All
going.
right.
I'll think of
So
it.
Tom Bailey says, and we'll get into that, Tom. I'm glad that you asked that. How come the two teams did not shake hands last night? A couple of reasons, and I'll tell you those here in just a minute. James, John Dalton, and Wade Garrett. Yes, that's exactly right. Vincent Tucker, he got it all. And they were specialized bouncers called coolers.
Right.
That's exactly right. Donald Stevenson's taken outside.
I still think one of the best scenes in the movie is when they're in the restaurant early in the morning,
Oh,
and Wade actually dances
with
Dalton's girlfriend,
yeah,
and the conversation that happens after that, which we cannot say on air.
that's true. Yeah.
I think that was probably one of the
You
best.
talking about what happened in Memphis?
Yeah.
And the way that all went down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was a great movie. Congratulations to you guys. Maybe we'll have some gift certificates. Brad Wesley.
That's great.
Man, you
Brad
Panders, you must love that movie as well. That's him. Brad Wesley. Remember? He said the liquor that's supplied here is supplied by Brad Wesley. Remember? Because they were running low on liquor. Dalton says, I'll make a phone call. Remember? Got the truck in, and that's when all the goons and goose were out there.
Yeah, that's what's his face? Old wrestler was
Terry
in
Funk.
Terry Funk was in that.
Yeah. Hey, what did Terry Funk say? What am I supposed to do now?
Well,
there's always Barber College.
Well,
What
what are you looking at, old man?
Yeah, what do you got?
Or my favorite part was when they introduced this gentleman. This is Brad Garrett, and then there was an explicative.
Oh, Wade Garrett.
Like that one.
Wade Garrett.
And Wade Garrett, and he comes up and he goes, exactly.
Exactly.
I love that part.
Oh, here's my other favorite part. I'll say this because I think I can. Wade pulls up on his bike. Wade pulls up right before that. Wade pulls up, gets out, puts his hair up. The double douche.
Yes.
You remember?
How about
The double douche. And I was like, what the heck? Only Sam Elliott can pull that crap off. Didn't he? Oh, my
well,
God.
what if somebody calls my mom a
Bleep.
Yeah.
bleep?
Is she?
Remember?
Yeah, remember that? There you
Why don't
go.
y'all just role play the whole thing?
We can. I'm going to tell you right now. We may
I mean,
roll
no,
play
like
those.
definitely done already.
Donald Stevens says that Donna absolutely. Donald, I know why you're saying that because when she walks off, right?
My goodness.
My gosh, and I will just leave it at that. Charles McKinney Jr. is watching. Donald Stevens says, "Damn, that hurts, don't it?" Remember that?
Oh,
Remember
yes. Yes.
that is a great movie. We'll have to role play that one day.
That's good stuff.
But anyway, what do we have here? Let's go back to our blind support.
Keep him in the knee.
Me.
Yeah, we got to see people who.
Yeah, that's all I've
Today.
got. Well, that's unless Dave's got some answers. That's all
Well,
I've
I'm
got.
going to take a guess.
Well, I'm gonna come back to us. Oh, look at that. What'd you do here?
You
Ooh,
carried your pen up there.
tearing a pen up. Dave, you got any answers?
Nah,
No.
not on my phone.
I got 2010 and 2008. All right, Byron, take a guess.
10.
2 10s. John?
12.
2012. Okay, Dave?
12.
12.
I'm a 10.
You're a 10.
It's available.
I'm gonna go.
My wife thinks so anyway. Beauty's in that
Something tells me. Something tells me.
Lord, I slowed down there.
Something tells me. Hey,
Mitchell
Peter looks away.
went right. Mitchell was so calm and cool.
Yeah, he was.
That just went.
Well, there was,
my head for a second.
Raymond No says 2010. Donald Stevens says that is a great movie, and it is. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. It is.
You know
a
what?
great
I
movie.
want to take back.
Okay.
The dog track. That year they
Uh-huh.
closed the dog tracks.
Okay. I can't remember what year that was, but
It was an election year.
was it? Then
Was
it's
it?
got to be 08 or 12.
I'll stick with 12.
We'll stick with 12. All right. Was it September 2008, September 2010, and September 2012? I love our director. You know why? He ain't moved. He ain't moved a muscle. He ain't laughed. He ain't smiled. He ain't done anything.
He's composed
Because-
at the moment.
Because secretly, it's
I tell you
none of
what.
us.
I tell you what.
Keep on talking about that girl in
And Roadhouse. And Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. All right. Give it up, Peter. What is it?
All right, so the two hints that we had in this one was just what you've already pointed out. A, It was an election year.
Mm-hmm.
Scratch 2010.
Okay. So those three are out.
Okay.
I guess you're not a 10, Mitchell.
Just so you know, for those of you like Austin, who Austin would be on top of this one, the hurricane list for 2012 included the name Umberto. Therefore,
12.
as a result of Tropical Storm Hannah threatening Florida, as well as the alcohol suspected in the crash, and the Kennel Club meeting was in September of 2008.
Oh, man.
David Rodgers, the only one.
No, we got one in
We
there.
got one here? Okay.
Yeah, we
Now
have
I got
one.
Archie Waters.
Yep, Archie Waters.
Come
And
on,
Archie
guys.
Waters.
Why y'all let him answer? Be one of the only people that answer that.
Charles McKinney.
I got to move myself now.
Charles McKinney in the year 2520. In the year 2525, I can see an Aquarius.
Melissa.
Thought you'd be bigger.
Thought you'd be bigger, yeah. We're going to get references all night.
All
right?
night long.
All night long.
All
today.
night long.
Melissa Delk, she got it.
She got it.
There
Okay,
you
so,
go.
okay, 3. Okay.
That works.
Well, you're out.
I'm still a 10.
You're still a 10?
Yeah. That's my wife.
Really?
Anthony Black said
Hang on for a second.
2005.
Yeah, I was going to say,
You
yes.
tall gunner? Yes, hey, this is David. How are you? Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you like my hair. I appreciate that. Yeah. Mitchell said that you think he's a 10.
Out of 100.
Yeah.
What?
But still
No,
a 10.
but no, hang on a minute. Are you saying a minus 10? Oh, no, I'm going to hang the phone up now because I'm in trouble.
Anyway.
Anyway, going back to
I think
everything.
she said 8.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Melissa
that's
does
it.
on that 2008 too.
Yes, she did. Yep, so she got it right.
There you go.
Where's the flag, Mike?
Yep, that's
I
good.
know
Yeah.
it. Yeah, Raymond, no. You know he's thinking.
Raymond, just so you know, the way the room is set up here, the flag's actually behind the camera. We try to bring it behind the guys, but then they have to turn their backs to the camera to do the pledge. So it's kind of a 6-1 does the other. We don't show the flag so that when everyone does the Pledge of Allegiance facing the camera, but there are times we do the flag behind, but then everyone turns their back to the camera. So it's kind of a touch and go. It's catch-22. It just depends on whether we put it on the screen or whether we use the big flag. We've got a couple of really nice flags, and I will compliment that some flags that were donated to all the county fire stations, Bradford County. The wooden carved flags, American flags that were donated look fantastic.
Oh, absolutely
fire
great.
stations. They look really good. So anyway, but that's just as a side note. But yeah, that's Raymond. Just so you know, what we'll do is one point we'll get the camera, we'll spin it around so you guys can see where the flags are, and if Dave makes the decision to go ahead and move the flags, and then maybe we can figure out a way to do it so you're doing the
I'm just glad that,
but,
I'm glad of you viewers for a couple of things, guys. They are noticing things.
Oh yeah.
And that's how I know people are paying attention to the show. When he says, "Where's the flag?" You know he's watching everything.
That's right.
He's watching the whole thing. And that's what we want. We want your comments. We want your ideas.
In fact,
We want your views. We want everything.
Well,
let's do a poll.
why don't we put it in behind us
Well, we can do that.
and put it in front of us?
In
That's-
front of us.
that works.
Yeah, we can
Both
do
of
that.
them.
Well, you got the other one right, Dave.
Yeah, we got the flag. I'll tell you what, though. Let's open to the audience. I presume the audience is going to be all in favor of having the flag on display, but
Yeah.
what would everyone like to see? The faces during the Pledge of Allegiance,
Or rears.
the backs of everyone during the Pledge of Allegiance,
Golly.
or
Where is
the
this coming
faces
from?
with the flag coming in. So I mean, let's.
All right. Well,
here.
here, Roy Jackson just said something.
Okay.
He said, "Show the flag with the backs right here." He said, "Show the flag here."
Okay.
I got no problem with that.
I can get.
Because you know what? The way the camera angle's set up, we can see the flag.
That's
and
right.
like Michael said, we can put the flag on the other side. Who says we can't have more than one flag?
That's true.
Man, if we had 13 flags, I'd love to put
You
it
fine
in.
with me,
I'm
too.
fine with me, buddy. I'll
Put
dress in a
Gadsden
flag.
flag somewhere here.
Boy, wouldn't we look good draped in flags?
Betsy Ross flag.
Yeah, you don't want to violate the flag
No,
code.
you
No,
don't.
I don't
You
want
don't.
to.
And that's a
No.
great. That's a
No,
great
don't
thing.
violate the flag code, folks.
All right, let's see. Show the flag at the backs. Put the flag back. She says we
Okay.
will. That's Lisa Thomason.
I'll tell you what.
Jennifer Weller said, "How about using 2 flags?" And that's what
we'll
just
do.
talked about.
I'll tell you what. You give me 5 minutes. I'll have the flag back up there.
Okay, how about 5 minutes, ladies and
Let's
gentlemen,
do it.
for the rest of the show? We're fixing to add some flags up there. Lynn Ender says 2 flags. Hey, I'm okay with that. Welcome into the show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Rodgers. Right along to my side here, to the left, is Byron. I ain't gonna do it to you. Paper and plastic bag. Well, you thought I was going to do the other one, didn't you? Oh, over here.
No. Good evening, infidels. No.
You kept looking at me. John Better Than Snow's Pro Advertising Marketing Director. Super Dave, Amsterdam, Holland in the back. Say hello, David.
Hello, David.
All right. How about to my right of you? You've already heard him. Michael, Mr. Roboto Heater. Big sticks there. Put your sticks up on there.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Mr. Roboto. He's a big time sticks fan right there. So we'll call him Mr. Roboto for this segment. Mitchell, Machine Gunter.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining the show tonight.
Hey, there you go, Mr. Blue Eyes. How about that? Huh?
That's right.
And I'm your host, Mr. Friday Night David Rodgers. Before we delve in to the local, let's talk a little local.
Actually, I got something I need to ask you right real quick.
This is
that's
right.
perfect.
I listened to there was a little advertisement on WEAG before the football game, and I heard that Mr. Kevin Howe went out and used your credit card and bought a bunch of Safari stuff.
He
Was
did.
you able to get your money back?
No, and I haven't recovered my money from last year.
Well, maybe he can use that for Halloween.
You know what? Well, here we go again, isn't it? Same stuff, just a different year.
That's it.
Oh my God, what are y'all laughing about? Can we get in on the joke?
No.
Yeah, we love the company.
Love it.
We love our company. We love everyone here.
Okay, except
No. We were just talking about what a great time we have as a team. We are an amazing team. Back me up at any moment here.
yeah, hang on
That's
just
an amazing team.
There you go.
Well, hang on a minute.
We're
Wait
amazing.
just a minute. Hang on.
Oh, your eyes.
There's the bullcrap card.
I think his eyes are turning brown.
Yeah, where's the bullcrap card?
Oh, okay, let's tell them.
Okay.
All right.
So when you made the point about being a big Sticks fan, and I did this, if you'll notice, the straw is perfectly positioned where it looks like Mitchell's trying to drink my drink,
Accidentally.
and we were just having a moment.
And if you got a little closer, I probably would have took a sip.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm thirsty.
There you go.
Vincent Tucker says you can always bring the camera up a little to the bottom of the books and show waving flag on the TV screen.
That's true.
Very true, Vincent. Yep, Vincent. On the spot, we have our own show Tuesdays and Saturdays. Vincent and Z, Tuck and Z and Tuck on Thursday nights. Coming out of Arizona, you can catch that show live if you want to at 10:30, or you can come back and watch the replays. That's 10:30 our time.
That's correct.
Yeah, 7:30 out there to 3 hours ahead. Hey, great show. They've got great viewpoints. Sort of about the same show, Mitchell. You know, they talk about the same things that we do. Do a great job. Z and Tuck do a really, really good job. Hey, Vincent Tucker's right along with you, Michael. He says, yes, and put it in big capital letters.
I knew I liked him.
You knew you liked him.
I knew I liked him.
No, it gets enough. Hello, guys.
Now wait till you read the comment from your color commentator.
But I look good in it, he said.
I bet you
Yes,
do.
he did. He
I bet
said
you
that,
do.
didn't he? Didn't he even say that? He said he looks good in that safari.
No said.
Raymond No says,
Listen.
what do you say? This ain't the Democratic Convention. You got that right, Raymond No, and it will never be the Democratic Convention. No, I got something over here, Dave, but I appreciate it. How about you, Byron?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're good?
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to On the Spot with David Rodgers, and look at there. Look what Michael Heater just found. He found the flag of this great country,
That's
the
right.
United States of America. Bar none
Old
better.
glory.
Old glory right there. If I'm going to tell you right now, gentlemen, if they were to call me back right now, and I guarantee you, Dave, I'm going to tell you the same thing. They was call me back right now and says, hey, we need you to go back. Byron, Mitchell, you would be the host of this show because I'm gone. Sorry about
I
that.
wouldn't be far behind you.
There you go. David, if they call you back, would you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot topics
Yeah.
with Z and Tuck.
Yep. Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. Thanks for the shout out, brother. No problem. You give us the same respect, and we'll give it to you as well. Michael Whitmore, thank you for joining in. Raymond No says outstanding. He says, Kevin says, I talked to Jeff Foodie, and you got more credit. That's why I use my credit card. Vincent Tucker says perfect on that there.
you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. Let me get started next before we do. I want to get into a little sports. Last night was opening football season here for the state of Florida. And a lot of teams have opted out of the season, but there's a lot of teams that are playing in state series play. Our Bradford Tornadoes was one of those teams. You heard us talk about the game and preview it on Tuesday night's show. We went over to Baker County Wildcats, about 28 miles from here, northwest to McClenny. And, gentlemen, the night didn't fare well for us as our Tornadoes, young Tornadoes, 7 seniors on the team, a handful of juniors, everybody else freshmen and sophomores. We got it handed to us pretty good, 33-6. But gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen watching out there, if you heard the broadcast or if you watched the broadcast, that score did indicate how close that game really was. It was 6-6 going late into the third quarter. And if we could have got that extra point, we would have actually been leading 7-6 late in that third quarter. Defense played outstanding for about 2.5, almost 3 quarters, and really about 3.5 quarters. And then they just ran out of gas. Didn't have enough bodies. You can tell their conditioning with 2 weeks worth of practice. Because everybody started practice on the 24th of August.
Supposed to start.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. I'm pointing no fingers at anybody. But anyway, so it's a young team. We got to get back in sync. Some things looked out of sync if you heard the call, but I'm impressed with several players in that game. And, as much as Baker County don't want to give us any credit because I heard that they're YouTube, and I'll call them out on it. I don't know the 2 guys' name, but I'll find it. Thanks again, guys, for the great commentary that you gave. Hey, I gave kudos to all you guys, but you didn't give kudos to any of our guys. I think that's a pretty darn bad deal. And if anybody's listening over there, you can go tell them I said that because every time I heard, and none of y'all watched that broadcast, did you?
No, I was listening to it.
Actually, I've seen a lot of comments from people who did watch it on Facebook.
And they said
they were very upset the way they handled the situation by just totally downing our guys throughout pretty much the whole game.
Any of those injuries, guys don't fake injuries, ladies and gentlemen, especially high school players. I won't say that and get into the pro level. I don't know what they do there. We can just assume. But when a high school kid is laying on the ground, Michael Heater was at the game, and he's grabbing his back of his calf or his knee or somewhere, he's got a cramp. And you could just tell it, the way they were stretching and everything. They get back up and go. And the Baker County commentators over on that YouTube were saying, of course, we're faking injuries, trying to slow down the offense. So I'll remember that. That's for sure, guys. I heard it was a great broadcast as far as the presentation and everything. But, hey, if you're real commentators, and I'll call you out right now, I've been doing this for a long time. Guys, you can agree with me. If you're real commentators, you give credit to both sides. I don't care if it's your production or not. So I'm going to give kudos to your players right now. I hope they're watching this. Go ahead, Mike.
I want to give, since you're giving kudos out, we need to give kudos to the man under the flag because Baker County would not even allow our folks access into the press booth. And those of you that listen to the game on WEAG 106.3 FM was listening to it being broadcast over a cell phone standing in the top of the stands on the visitor side. And I will tell you, for one, I am indubitably, yes, that's my big word for the day, impressed that you were able to pull that off because that is no small feat. If you don't know anything about broadcasting, let me tell you, it will take it out of you. It takes a lot of energy to really keep that enthusiasm going. And it's okay if you're sitting down and you're in an air-conditioned environment where you've got something to drink and you can kind of plan it out. When you're standing in the stands on a cell phone for 3.5 hours and you can't even take a break to get something to drink, that says a lot about the quality and caliber of the broadcast team. And I'm telling you, that man sitting right there deserves every bit of kudos and appreciation from Tornado Nation because he did a hell of a job.
I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you very much, Dave. I really appreciate that, guys.
And I was just helping you call out.
We was trying to bounce the phone back and forth, like Michael said. If you know anything about production, you're trying to get as little dead air as you can, and you're having to continuously talk and whatever it is, and whatever's happening with that play, you just got to keep it up. So I want to thank you guys for that and show my appreciation to all you Bradford Tornadoes fans for that. But I want to get back to these guys. Like I said, I heard it was a great broadcast. Some people are commenting on there now. Tom Bailey said he watched it on their broadcast, said it was a great broadcast. But gentlemen, you need to go back to commentator school, calling you out. You can call me anytime, and you can message me anytime, and I'll be more than glad to. Better yet, you want to come on my show? We'll debate it on my show. Not a problem. Would y'all care?
No, not at all.
Hey, y'all can come on the show if you have got the intestinal fortitude to. I'm calling you out. Come on out. You can come right here on this show, and we can debate that. But let me do my part, as I did all night on WEAG Eagle Country 106.3, a Stark radio station, and gave kudos to your players. Yes, your players were doing it. Not necessarily do I have to give kudos, but I do that because I'm a professional radio broadcaster, and I give kudos. So here we go. Baker County Wildcats looked really good last night. They have a good team. They have a big team. They're a physical team. They're well coached. And head coach and offensive coordinator Kevin Mays, you did a great job. You finally figured it out in the third quarter how to get to our team. You made the adjustments. There ain't no problem there. Defensive coordinator Brock Kennedy, you did a great job over there as well. This is the Baker County staff. Linebacker coach Hank Farmer, George Richard, Corey Cantrell, Freddie Smith, and Scott McDonald. Y'all did a wonderful job coaching up your Bradford County Wildcats. And I want to give kudos to several players. Baker County, excuse me. Yeah. What am I thinking of? Yeah, Baker County. Here we go. Scooby Graham, number 5. Wow. All I can say is wow, huh, Mike?
Yeah, he put on quite a
He put on a display. And let me tell you what. You're talking a kid that's about 225, 230, and he ran over the Tornadoes all night long. We just couldn't make the tackles. Some of our better players were getting double and triple team, and by the time he got into the secondary, he's 5, 6, 7 yards in the open field, and you're asking defensive backs at 165, 170, 175 pounds to make that solo tackle, and that's tough to do. But kudos to Scooby Graham, running the ball good, great looking athlete, looks like a Division I prospect to me. Number 6, DeHaven Clark. You played a heck of a ball game as well. I thought you did some things offensively and defensively to help your team succeed. Jamarian Baker, their wide receiver, defensive back, blanketed on Dante Balfour all night. Couldn't get the ball to him. And I know we probably should have made adjustments. I called it on the radio several times, and I thought we should have tried it over the top. But for the most part, he did a good job on covering a Division I prospect. Cameron Smith and Cameron Crawford. Holy mess, that quarterback. Michael Heater, the kid wasn't very big, was he?
No,
but tough and pounded the ball on the inside, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
They ran a perfected offense. That quick, that quick propelled offense, like me and Byron like to say, the no-coast offense. But it's the West Coast offense, almost like the fun and gun that Steve Spurrier ran. That's what they ran on us. By the time they did a play, their players were always shuffling in and out. They were up on the line ready to go. And Bradford is trying to still shuffle players in, which is legal as heck, because Mitchell said, well, hey, if they make substitutions, we can. Here's the problem. Right after the play was done, they knew when to come in. They knew when to go out. Bradford's trying to go, oh, my gosh, they changed that scheme. Now they're trying to get their players in for that same scheme.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get off the field. Michael, 5 penalties, 25 yards just because we couldn't get off the field.
3 people on the field.
Yeah, you're trying to run off the field. I mean, we had the guys there. We just couldn't get the guy off the field, the 12th man.
In fast.
In fast enough. Yeah. So,
and what I think, and again, kudos to Baker County because they had a really good balanced approach to the game. Their offense was really good. Their defense was sound when they, when they were doing that goal, especially when they did our goal line stand against us.
Yeah, three times.
Three times. And it wasn't that we couldn't move the ball. It was the fact that we were just really struggling with play selection because no matter what we threw at them, they had an attack counterpoint for it. Right. I'm concerned. I won't get into some of the discussion points that we had a little while ago regarding preparation. Right. I will say, however, that they are a well-coached team.
Kevin May's done a great job.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how things progress, both from as the season progresses, to see how well they move through the season,
right?
Or if there's any issues that come up with any repercussions. But
we're going to get into that. Yeah,
we'll get into that. But as far as how the players reacted and how they played,
right.
That is a credit to their coaching, because you could tell they were conditioned and they had a plan of attack that they were ready to implement every quarter that we hit.
Yeah, and that's exactly
well conditioned for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that here in just a second. I want to commend a couple of other players, their defensive players. Number 40, Camilo Rollins. Number 45, Connor South. All these guys, man, they're big, they're physical, and they showed it last night against a young Bradford team. And look, kudos to Baker County. Y'all won that game. There was no doubt about it. We took it on the chin. But I did not like what I heard about your radio call. Like I said, I gave kudos. You can ask these guys. They all listen to the broadcast. I gave kudos to your players all night long.
It was very well balanced.
Yes, it was. And I just didn't particularly like that. But, hey, it is what it is. That's your radio broadcast. But I would love to debate that with you as time goes along. Want to give some of our players kudos last night. First and foremost, Coach Wendell Shanks, defensive coordinator, you've got a heck of a son. Dejon Shanks, that freshman quarterback, 14 years old, went into a hostile environment, an arch rival, and kept us, gentlemen, in that game for 3 quarters without hardly any mistakes.
Yeah.
He ran that offense to perfection for 3.5 quarters. And, again, it was just a timing of they ran out of gas. We just didn't quite have enough horses. We're a young team. In 2 years, this team will be the team to beat in this area. I can tell you that right now. Eric Smith, the running back, the senior running back, had 115 yards on 16 carries. Hey, great, and scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
Hey, great game by Eric Smith. He told us on the Beef O'Brady show that he was going to run for 1,500 yards, and what a way to start. Hey, 115 yards against a great defense like that. There was times that he broke away and got some great runs. Again, what hurt us in there was we would get inside the 10-yard line 3 times, and I want to say there was a 4th time and we couldn't score.
Right.
And you had to put points on the board and score, don't you, Mitchell?
That's it.
So, Austin Lavelle, the wide receiver, played defense. Kudos to you. Travis Lee, defensive back, doing a lot of kickoff stuff for us. Great night for you as well. Dejon Shanks, man, I just can't say enough about that kid.
Yeah.
We called his name quite a bit last night, and he looked the part. Sterling Roberts, Gavin Cook, another sophomore. I'm calling out guys that aren't really seniors, except those few up there that I called out at first. These are all freshmen and sophomores.
Right.
My gosh, man. Hey, it's loaded here. Look. I just want you to look at Byron. Look at this roster. That's our roster. Look what you see there. Freshman, sophomore. You don't think we're going to be good in a couple of years? Sometimes, gentlemen, you have to take a hit in a year.
That's right.
You know, there's a year where you're going to take a hit, and it's not going to work out like you perfectly want it. And I know that for the seniors, that sort of hurts their hearts because you want to go out winners. But sometimes you have to take one to make the program be better. And that's what happened the last 4 years. We had a great mixture of balance. All these seniors that were rotating, the juniors and the sophomores were stepping up. And that rotation balance finally caught up with us last year.
Now, it happens to everybody, not just on a high school level. You see it in the college level, you see it in the NFL level.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so you see it everywhere where you have these rebuilding years.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does.
I have a question for you, Mr. Rodgers.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about rugby punch?
Hey, hey, Travis Lee made it work last night.
Yes, he did.
Golly, Travis Lee made that one for 42 or 44 yards or whatever it was. That was perfect. I thought for sure that
you had me in stitches, man. Oh, I'm not a fan of rugby. Well, that one's going to work.
That one's going to work, yeah. That one is going to work. Oh, my God. football game breeding
TMZ.
ground. Yeah, TMZ all over it. We're going to get into that. You want to talk about that here about it in just a minute? Give me just a second. But I want to get into here. Miss Shirley, Mark Udi. Yes, hello. Miss Shirley Bagwell, haven't heard from you in a while, Mom. I hope you're doing okay.
Good evening,
We
Mom.
love you. I watched the YouTube broadcast. Tom Bailey said, Noah Gibson, did Bradford win? Is the question. No, they did not. They got beat 33-6. But it wasn't indicative of the game, Noah, as these gentlemen will tell you. And that game ran away there with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter. And then they brought that little scat back that I was telling you about, number 11. That's the other kid, Byron, that I was telling you about, Cameron Smith, who ran those couple of long runs on us. But they hit us pretty good. Wendy Russell is watching. Armeli said no. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate it. I was doing the best that I could. It'll be better next week. All of us will be in the studio. We'll be able to bring this Facebook Live or YouTube, whichever, and plus on the radio broadcast. We'll be able to wear our headsets. We'll be in our own home confines, our own press box, and that broadcast will be a lot better next week. But I appreciate what you said. Charles, thank you for that. Again, I'm just doing my best that I can. And sometimes you have to improvise when you get into those things. Right. You just don't never know what you're going to run into. Tell you another place, I'm going to start preparing for it now, and that's going to be over at PK Young. No press box over there. Mosquito Haven over there. Bring some mosquito spray. It's going to be bad.
Just to let you know. Charles has got one more question. It's called Hot Topics.
Yeah.
With Z and Tuck.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
Hot Topics with Z and Tuck. That's Thursday nights at 10:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Pacific Time. Let's see. Jennifer says, proud that the tornado side kept things professional. And if the other side decides to act a fool, that's on them. Thank you, Jennifer. That's exactly right. If the Dogs don't play, football is over for me. Well, the Dogs are going to play. Everybody's going to get kicking here pretty soon. What you got, John?
So with that video, they took it down, the broadcast of the game.
Oh, they did.
So there was a link on Baker County High School's webpage to a video, a YouTube video that was 2.5 hours long, which was the football broadcast that everybody had seen.
Right.
It is no longer available to view.
Okay. I will take that back, gentlemen. I still don't like the way it happened. You did take it down. That's professional enough. I'll agree with that. So, again, I'm not going to apologize. If they still want to come on and talk about it, of how that went down, I'll still entertain them.
They did that because TMZ got
well, and that's we were just going to get ready to get into that. So, let's see. Shirley Bagwell, always stay true to yourself. Thank you, Shirley, and I do. And that's exactly what I'm going to keep doing. That's exactly what we believe in at WEAG Eagle Country 106.3. You've known Chuck and Mary Kramer for a long time, and that's the way that they work. But, hey, look, I'd still like to ask them guys about that and see where they decided to come up with that broadcast. But, I mean, maybe it's not even worth it. How come the teams do not shake hands at the end of the game? Two things. The COVID was the main one. COVID-19, they were trying to keep up because you don't know what the other team has. You don't know the ins and outs of who had what and when they had what. So that's why nobody's shaking hands at the end of the game. That doesn't mean they ain't showing sportsmanship. They're just not shaking hands. They're sort of just going out, sort of waving and then moving on. So that was one of the things. And the second thing on this game, gentlemen, I think is I don't think they wanted any kind of a fight or any kind of a breakout. That's going to happen.
I was about to say,
that's our heater problem.
Yeah, it is. Two teams just don't like each other and never have.
Yeah, Noah Gibson for COVID procedures is one. Randy Scoggins, thank you for watching him. Whoever was in charge of the booth needs their butt kicked. Well, thank you, Charles. I'll make sure to pass that on. How they have to fool, yeah. Kudos on your professional attitude and doing the right thing. Thank you, Raymond. I appreciate it. Bradford has no O-line. Well, Raymond, no, we can get into that. Tom Bailey, we can get into that a little bit. Yeah, they're hurting there a little bit. I remember they're young, man. These guys are young.
And 2 weeks of practice.
And 2 weeks of practice. The biggest kid, Mitchell, that we have is Levante Daniels. And he's a big boy. Y'all seen him the other night. He's about 275, 280. You're asking kids 220, 230 to block defensive linemen that are 280, 285, 290. You know what I mean? With, like you said, not only experience, but a lot of practice time. And we'll get into
and
that.
when you don't get that practice time, you don't learn those techniques when you're really young players
Right.
to be able to block those bigger guys. There's actually techniques that you can use to help block bigger guys than what you are.
Right.
Zone blocking scheme.
Exactly, and we'll get into that. Yes, I'm glad you said that. Vincent says, "Forgive me, gentlemen, I'm going to dive out. I just had a great idea for a segment on our next show pop into my head. I hope we gave you that idea, and I have to get things started now. Since I work for the next 3 days, 12 hours a day, he's a correctional officer, I believe, is his regular job. It's going to be a rush to get it together, but I'm going to try my best. Small clue, September the 11th. Have a great show, guys. Stay with us." Yeah, so we have some things we're going to cook up as well. So, Charles McKinney, Byron did say it. Tell him again what's the name of Vincent's show. Hot Topics
with G and Tug.
That's exactly
Hot
right.
Topics with G and Tug.
I watched the game on YouTube with the volume off, listening to your show. Great job. Thank you, Mark. Joey Fennell said you guys were great out there. Diane Thomas said some of our starters were quarantined. I'm not quite sure on who and how many, but to be honest with you, Diane, I don't know if it would have made a big difference. The big difference in that game is we couldn't score in the red zone. Right. We can say we got the ball down there 4 times and we come away with 6
points.
6 points.
That hurts. So I'm sure, Coach. I know you're related. Coach is going to work on that. We're going to get better at that.
It really should have been 7. Wasn't it a bad snap on an extra point?
It was
that.
Yeah. It should have been 7-6. We should have been leading in the third quarter. What happened was the snap came. Man, every Baker County lineman it was like a jailhouse blitz. They were standing right there. Thank goodness for Travis Lee having some common sense. He said, "Oh, they kicked that." Well, no, the ball just stayed there. The kick was never attempted. It was just blew dead because if he didn't when you try to kick it, of course they were going to block it. Right. What if Travis Lee would have got hurt? He also plays defense for us. Smart thinking on his part there. Great show tonight, guys. Like the comments and the recap of the game last night. Thank you, Dottie. We appreciate you. The Baker County broadcast kept talking about the 1980 game and was wanting Baker County to run up the score. Of course they did. That's the way that it is. And,
that's part of being
a rival there. Mitchell, you want to get into that little, Michael brought it up, and you brought it up about TMZ and how we, in that game, made national news. No, nothing on Bradford now.
No.
So.
The reason why it made TMZ news was because of the amount of people that were allowed to be at the football game. And, of course, we know we all have rules that are in place that are set up not to overcrowd either side of the football field and stands. Well, supposedly, Baker County just kept on letting the fans come in and come in and come in and come in. So I think this may be looked at by the Florida High School Sports Association in the next couple of days why they allowed so many people in there when they were not supposed to do that. So with that national news spotlight on them, that's not really good for Baker County's football team.
And I want to add one other thing to that, and we just talked about that. You brought it up just a few minutes ago. I don't know this. I can't confirm or deny that that team looked awful well for 2 weeks' worth of practice. I know they had some returning players, but that team was well-conditioned and looked the part. Did they have more than 2 weeks' worth of practice? Well, as they're investigating this, I'm sure the FHSAA is going to investigate that, and that's all I'll say about that.
And they have smart people. They can tell when a team has had a lot of prep time, getting things together for a football season, especially this one being the first of the year, and with them coming down with the rule that no practice should have been attempted or going on before the 24th of last month, and things look kind of fishy there. How organized and also their conditioning.
Yeah,
they did not wear down, but they also do have a whole lot more players than
they did.
have.
They did.
But to be able to substitute between plays as fast as they were doing it, they knew who was up, where they had to go.
Yeah.
I mean, before that, the play before was over.
Yeah.
So it looked kind of a little odd, and I'm telling you. The Florida High School Sports Association, they're going to be looking at teams all over the state of Florida and how they play And I guarantee you they will be looking into if they had start practices before that date that they allow.
Right.
And if so, there's going to be repercussions coming down the line. And there may be repercussions coming down for allowing so many fans into that stadium.
Yeah, I just seen that. Oh my God, I'm fixing to get into that right along with you, and I'm sorry to do that, Mitchell. And this is coming from a reliable source that went here, and he's got family up there. And I'm fixing to read that here in a minute. But I just want to ask you guys before I read that. Byron, I'm gonna start with you. You listened to the broadcast, and most of it you were trying to work. Do you think Baker County was that much better than us?
I never think Baker County is that much better than us.
All right, let's take the game last night. Did you just listening and knowing what you said? Yeah, I don't either.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
Bad old memories.
Yeah, there you go. That's right.
No, I thought their condition was better.
Yeah.
And that's the honest truth. Like you said, it was 3.5 quarters into it before it took off. They actually started taking off.
Right.
And the kids were playing
Outstanding.
yeah. For what we have this year because of the youth.
Right.
The condition showed from Baker County.
Yep.
And the discipline showed from Baker County on their team.
Yep.
And the running back was
That's Scooter Graham. That's Division I kid.
He was really good last night. He really was very good last night.
I'll tell you what, we had that kid on our team. Even with what we have, just a kid like that, he'd make a difference. You can pound him and Eric Smith all day long.
Well, of course.
He's breaking tackles.
You get a two-headed monster going on.
Yeah. John, you didn't get a chance to listen to the game last night, did you at all? Dave, you listened to the game. Did you think they were that much better than us?
I didn't really think so because when I got to really hear it, the score was like 6-13, and we were getting ready to score.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we were dropping back down.
Yeah. That was in the third quarter.
Late in the third quarter.
And then when I talked to you earlier and you told me what the score ended up being, I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
What happened? Sure.
Did we give up or did they just display more than they should have?
And you're right. The kids really never gave up. I don't want to say they gave up.
They did.
But they didn't. I don't think they did.
It's
I just think
it
it was
gassed.
It was
They were gassed.
They could not run no more. I mean, when they brought 11 in, Michael, I'm fixing to go to you now. When they brought that, what's his name there? I can't think of his name there. Clark or whatever his name is, number 11. Cameron Smith. Cameron Smith. When they brought him in, it reminded me. I told Byron of Warren Dunn. Just bringing in that little step back, and he just, when you're gassed, now you got a guy that's pretty strong. He's well built, quick and fast. Probably runs a 4.40. And then, they got 2 long touchdowns off of him. So tell me what you thought. Did you think they was that much better?
Much better, no. However, I will say that I think if you take the total package of returning players, the coaching staff, the size difference, and other areas like that one, I think I would have to, if you just look at it, just bare bones statistical numbers, I'd have to give the edge to Baker.
Sure.
But I think that if you look at from what I saw, and now I was right down on the 50-yard line.
You were right there.
We were right there watching.
Yeah.
I was more impressed and intrigued by the reaction of our players. I could hear everything that was being said. Mm-hmm. And when things did not go the way that we wanted it to go, our players were irate. They were upset. They were yelling. They were carrying on. The coaches were upset like that. So when I say I give the edge to Baker, I will give the edge to Baker on size, on experience, and on coaching. Bradford by far takes the lead and takes the total pack, takes the cake on the passion. I didn't see the passion on the player side. I heard the fans yelling.
Oh, yeah.
And there were Baker fans on the Bradford side because the stands were so full.
Right.
But the passion, the drive, the dedication for the game, you could see it and you could hear it in the Bradford players. I didn't get that from the Baker side. Just because I could see the way that they kind of meandered around like that.
Yeah.
When we did a good play, they jumped on it and they were good to go. Baker, not so much.
Did you just sense that, and because you were there, and I'll ask you this, did you sense that the Baker County players sort of knew that they were going to win the game? It looked like that to me. It looked like they knew, even though they was in a dogfight for 3 quarters, they just had that body language like they knew they were going to win the game. It was just a matter of time.
I think, and here's the thing about it. Any other game, any other team, any other time, I would say that's good coaching, getting them comfortable with optimism and enthusiasm and going. In this situation, I would say that it was not as much confidence as it was conceit. They were better prepared.
They were.
Whether it be by whatever means, and I think that they knew that they had a dog. I think what threw them under, kind of set them on their heels, was they went into halftime and was like, "We're not beating the pants off of this."
Correct. Yeah, we're only up a touchdown.
We're down by we're only up by 6 points. We should be like 21-0, and here we are.
Yeah.
And so
the dogfight.
I think the dogfight really kind of surprised them.
They did.
So I will tell you straight up here, and I talked to some of the folks that were at the game and everything like that one. You got to give the passion and the enthusiasm to Bradford.
Absolutely.
I'll go back to what I said beforehand. When we were calling at the beginning of the season like that, I don't think we're going to have a spectacular season. I really don't, because we have a young team. We have an inexperienced team. But the passion and the drive these kids have is over the top. And they may surprise me. I hope they do. And I'm telling you, next year,
watch out.
Watch out. This is going to be an amazing team for the next 2 or 3 years. It's going to knock your socks off. State championship material. Here we come.
Absolutely. Michael, what do you think?
I don't think they're no better than us.
I don't either.
And, like Michael was saying, we've always had that passion at Bradford High. And my whole thing, maybe I'm wrong for saying this, but they were too well prepared, too well conditioned for 2 weeks worth of practice.
Byron!
There is no way that they were that well in that condition in 2 weeks. It does not happen that way. I've been an athlete, and it takes about a good month to have what they have as endurance as athletes.
Byron, do you want to read that next statement that Mr. Joey Fennell there? Because I don't want to read it. I'm going to let you read it.
I'll save it.
Will you
save it? I'll save it.
You want to save me?
I'm telling you, if they find out that they done this,
did you see what
they may be done.
Did you see what we're fixing to read? Disclaimer.
No.
Okay. Disclaimer.
David Rodgers has no knowledge of this.
None.
Other than what we're hearing from one of our fans. Although, be it a very good source.
Very good source.
I was told by family that lived there that they were doing 2-a-days during the summer.
Get out.
Huh.
If that comes out, and that is true,
That's
Baker County is done. They have to forfeit. They're going to be done for the rest of the season because Florida High School Athletic Association, they will not play around with that, and they will be some really, really bad punishments coming down. You'll probably see some coaches that may not be able to coach in the state of Florida ever again. They do not play. They do not play this game at all.
No.
What they say, you better go by those rules, or they will be consequences, and those consequences are not very nice.
If that is true, ladies and gentlemen, watch out for the aftermath of this.
Because I'll tell you, the truth is going to come out.
They'll find that out.
I mean, you're talking about the FHSA is literally a board of coaches who have coached for years.
And administrators that know their stuff.
When they see stuff, if things are not quite the way they're supposed to be.
Think of someone we all know that's on the board of directors for FHSA. Bobby
Johns. Coach Bobby Johns knows what's going on.
Bobby Johns knows when somebody has practiced for longer than 2 weeks.
Yes,
he knows when someone's practiced longer than an hour.
Yes, he does. And there was a couple of other coaches on that, too, that are very smart.
Now,
we'll see what happens.
Football athletes, they could practice at home. They could run. They can hit the weight room on their own. But as a team, there was not supposed to be no practice until after the 24th of August.
If that wasn't organized by the coaches 2-a-days in the summer,
Oh, I guarantee if they were doing 2 days in the summer,
yeah,
there was coaches there.
There was coaches there.
You better believe
And if
it.
that's the case, Michael Heater,
Buddy.
that is going to be.
And I guarantee you, on Tuesday, there will be a phone call from people to the association about this, and they will be an investigation. I can promise you.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'll attest to all these guys, we're not whining. We're not whining about anything. They beat our tail.
We take our lumps.
We take our lumps. They beat us. Now, did they beat us fair and square? I don't know. We're hearing some things now, but they beat us. And look, when the investigation comes out, Byron, we'll see what happens.
I'm having to chew on my tongue.
I know you are. I can see it in your face.
I'm having to chew on my tongue. I'm having to chew on my tongue.
Can you imagine you beating a team 33-6 and all of a sudden, whoops, there goes that win.
That goes
Now
there
there goes
goes
the loss out in the season.
There goes
In the
the
season. And then Bradford gets a win.
I'll take it.
But, you know,
Take it.
the other thing is you got to think what we just came out of and what we're still going through with the whole virus thing.
Right.
And even for Bradford to have less than 2 weeks of practice, and you're telling me they held them 6-6 until the fourth quarter?
Till the end, till 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
I mean,
It was-
to me, that's enough right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
You can see
obviously a win is better, but for us to only have 2 weeks of practice and to have a very, very young and amateur team
Oh, yeah.
and to hold them in a dogfight until the end of the third quarter
Yes.
against a rival that
Yeah.
has nothing but juniors and seniors and coaches that have been there for years.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I just...
Yeah, no, I get it.
I put it like this, David. You were there. You were
Yeah.
calling the game.
Yeah.
You could see both sidelines.
Yeah.
Did you see them bending over with their hands on their knees, any?
No.
When we were having the players on our sideline bending over and touching their knees?
Not one time did y'all hear me on the broadcast say,
They look like
number
they're-
44 has a cramp or anything. Now, Bradford did hit him in the mouth. A couple of guys, a little few. But as far as conditioning injuries, there's a difference. None. They were peddling guys in and out as fast as you could. Ask Michael. Man, they were ready to line up on the line of scrimmage.
They
and
been
our
practicing
boys
that
are
for weeks.
Our boys are still trying to get to the line of scrimmage, and the defense, Coach Shanks, is trying to call in a defensive play. He can't get his eyes closed and already snapping the ball. That's why we got those penalties. Baker County didn't need no help last night. I'll agree. They're a good team. They didn't need no help. They didn't need to give us for us to give them 25 and 30 and 40 yards. Just simple stuff. But that's the stuff that these guys were saying that you're going to see in the first game. You didn't see it on
You
the
might
other
see
side.
you might see it in the second and third
Yeah.
game because they have not
Right.
had to play.
Okay,
Right.
now I'm going to say this.
They
I
don't
said-
have timing down.
I was going to chew on my tongue, but I'm going to say this. You don't run that offense they were running last night on 2 weeks of practice.
No
and
way.
Run it like that.
No
I don't
way.
care who you are, and I'll stop at that
Yeah.
because I really have very strong feelings about Baker County and that.
I'm glad you put that, John.
And the thing is that they've done that sport that way.
But did you see April's?
I did, and I'm glad that April is on. Tom Bailey says Bobby Johns is a Baker County alumni, and I'll read what John said about that. April Tomlinson said they had no players quarantined. We had 10. So there was 10 of our guys that didn't even there. So we'll see what happens as we get those 10 guys back.
Right. 2 days
So-
are not summer conditioning is the answer to that question.
No, and they can't do it as a team. They can work
They
out.
can call it
individual.
themselves. Yes.
They can go work out in the weight room by themselves. They can work out at the house. They can run at the house, but they could not practice as a team on high school property before the 24th deadline was lifted for them to start practice.
John, he is, but also a man of character. So if something wrong, Baker, he'll call them out, and that's exactly right. You got to remember, he was here as well. Athletic director here, defensive coordinator here. He is a fair man. He's going to call it if he sees it and he knows it. He's going to call him out on it. Baker County alumni or not. Right is wrong. Wrong is wrong. Now, let me say this. All right, let me give you an example because I see a lot of people asking me, well, what is a summer conditioning? All right. I'm the quarterback of Bradford. Byron's a wide receiver. Mitchell's a flanker. Michael Eater's a tight end. You're a running back. You're the center. I can call all you guys in the summer and go, hey, guys, y'all want to go onto the football field and let's get our timing down? I can do that all summer long with you guys and get our timing down, and there is not a single penalty coming from the FHSA as long as there's no coaches there. If it's just us, that is not against the rules of the FHSAA. Conditioning, if I want to call all you guys to my house, or we want to get into the gym, if the janitor opens up the gym and we say, man, let's work out. We can all work out if no coaches are there. Players can call what they want to call. But if there's coaches around and it's being coach mentored, that's against FHSA rules all day long.
David?
Sounds right
I
to
give
me.
you a heads.
You do not run that offense
No.
that way on 2 weeks. But I need to
I
quit.
know.
I need to quit because
And
I don't know what's going on for sure.
Right. We don't know. We
don't
yeah.
run that
No,
offense.
you don't.
You
No.
don't run that offense like that.
No.
And what you're saying, David, that goes for every sport. I mean,
Yes.
I know during cross country season was coming up. We couldn't meet and we couldn't run with each other with the coach, but we could individually take and do our own logs and our own runs
Sure.
during the summer before we return back to school.
Right.
So you can do all of that by yourself. But no
Eric Gibson, I agree. Summer conditioning is not regulated by the FHSA. We just did that. We just talked about players can condition as much as they want. It's not a problem.
It's not 2 a days.
Yeah. Not and coaches and in
2 a day
3
practice
days.
is coaches are there and all the players are there.
That's the way I've noticed.
Did you read what he just put though?
No. Did he come back? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Stuart Roberts is watching. Let me read Charles McKinney. Seems like I remember local football team close around that was having practice this past summer. It seems like I remember a girl here in Lottie talking about it. Charles, I'm not sure what that's about. It could be who we're talking about. I don't know. We'll get more information. Coaches can be around weightlifting, conditioning, running, just not supposed to use balls as coordinated practice. But teams still have 7-on-7, which is practice, and coaches are allowed to coach 7-on-7. Eric, in a regular season, I would say you're absolutely correct. We're in a COVID season.
Right.
Where there was rules
Stipulations.
and stipulations implemented by the FHSA. Why did you think you didn't hear about a lot of 7-on-7s? Bradford last year won the whole 7-on-7 tournament around this region.
Yeah.
Why did you? Because it wasn't allowed. 7-on-7s wasn't allowed. So if there was organized weightlifting and conditioning, coaches, I don't know in that depth and specifically about as far as weightlifting and conditioning. I guess as long as they're not running any kind of offenses or defenses.
They have to do it on their own. They can't have coaches telling them what to do or anything.
But I guess somebody would. I'll dig into that a little more. I think I know the rule on that, but I'll dig into that a little more.
Have a good night, Sarge.
Oh, Sarge is
he's
checking
gone.
out.
If any of our viewers know, it's going to be Coach Gibson. I mean, he still coaches football.
Yes, he does.
So,
exactly right. Yeah, and I'm not arguing with you, Coach, because I agree with you. I just didn't know the in-depth rules.
Well, that's why. So I asked him for clarification if that was normal rules for a season or if those were the COVID rules.
Yeah.
To see what his answer is. I mean, if that's normal,
That's
one
a
thing,
normal.
COVID.
That is a normal rule.
Right.
But I'm saying, was that
For
for
this-
for the COVID? Was it the same thing for COVID, or was it more strict? That's what I was.
I
asking.
guarantee you it's strict.
It's a lot more strict.
Yeah, it
because
is.
They didn't want it to spread and continue.
Yeah, I
Even
remember.
though it doesn't
I remember
affect
talking
kids,
about it
so.
because I was talking about being a good sign to see if Corona was going to hurt them playing football. Sarge, have a great night, guys. They just said need a name for it. Gate, practice gate. Y'all come up with something better than mine. We'll come up with something. All right. All right. We're Byron. I'll tell you what. Table yours off today, Tuesday. We've gone into a great show. We've been about an hour and a half.
You want me to table this off Tuesday?
I want you to table off. No, not this. You talking about this?
No, I'm talking about table this.
Oh, table what you were going to
Yes.
talk about till Tuesday.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay.
What about you?
All right. Did you have anything?
I just got something real quick.
Alright.
Don't forget about the cruise at Fun Point. It's coming up on September 26th. We're going to have a 50-50 everyone can participate in the 50-50. Half of that money will go to the food pantry. Also, on some local news in Gainesville, they are going to lift the open container. I guess to go ahead and let people drink outside to help with the COVID-19 situation. They say it's better for people to be outside than inside the bars. And also another thing that the Alachua County Board of County Commissioners are coming up with, it's not approved yet as far as I know of, but they want people who own their own property, if they have more than 10 people at their house, they need to have a form filled out by every individual that's going to be there, and then it has to be approved by the county if they can have a gathering with more than 10 people on their property. To me personally, I think it's illegal.
That is illegal.
And they should not have the right to do that and tell you what you can and cannot do on your own
And which
private
county is this
property.
again?
Alachua.
Does that surprise you at all?
Not at all.
Yeah.
So, and now they might be looking at how they can actually make money off of people filling out those forms and getting them approved, so they can make a little bit of this.
Oh, I can't wait
So,
till Springs County gets here
they
so I
actually-
can go buy stuff from some places.
They actually have a lady that is running for a commissioner seat over there, and she is totally outraged. And if I can get her name, I will have it on Tuesday, and maybe we can put a video of her up. She's got a video up of her talking about it.
Why don't you invite her to the show?
And we can try to do that. We can try to do that.
Wasn't this the same mayor that supported, or excuse me, not that's Gainesville. Same difference. Wasn't this the same mayor that supported Antigua?
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Also, real quick, on September the 11th, there is going to be a patriotic parade through Stark with vehicles. They will be meeting at the Bradford County Fairgrounds at 7 p.m. And they, I guess, will have a police escort through Stark. So I thought that was kind of neat that's going on.
What day is September 11th on this year? What day of the week?
That will be on the Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, it'll be on a Friday night.
So I know what Saturday show's going to be about.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I know what shirt I'm going to wear too.
Me too. We all
So,
are.
and I won't be here that Saturday night.
Oh, you won't, will you?
I'll fill in for you.
There you go.
He's releasing on the track.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
it.
releasing on the track. What else? Don't you got anything?
We got some other things, but we can, with the city of Stark, but we can talk about that later, about the sewage treatment plant.
Sure.
And also about the audit. We can talk about that on Tuesday. Other than that, that's it.
Byron Bagwell, I'm going to start with you. Final thoughts, and we're going to wrap the show up. It's been a great show. We talked a lot about Bradford County Tornado football. We haven't talked a lot of sports. There is a lot of college football, or at least some going on this week. But next week is when we're going to get us some action where the bigger boys play. But I'll get into some of that on Tuesday. Byron, final thoughts. Two parts. Two parts.
First,
Okay.
I need to plan a trip, guys. I've got to go out of town for a little while.
Okay.
Because I absolutely have to go to San Francisco to get my hair cut.
Yeah.
That's the first, and a blow dry and shampoo.
Well,
got to have it done.
you won't be able to do that. They're all closed.
Well, yeah.
Hang on.
Exactly.
He knows Nancy.
Nancy.
I know some
No, wait a
Pelosi.
minute.
Or
Nancy.
Pelosi.
Nancy, hang on. Nancy, are you there? Yeah, Byron's just being a little bit loud. What's the name of that place that you went to get your hair done at? Can you send me the address, please?
Yeah, because I need to go.
Byron needs to go get a haircut.
And now the poor lady's getting death threats.
Byron's going to travel 3,000 miles. Yes, he is.
The person who owns the
Well, there you
salon
go.
that
Thank you,
her
Nancy,
hair,
for all your help.
that released it,
There you
that
go.
she
Thank you, sir.
done her hair, she is now getting death threats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's probably
Well,
going to have to
she's-
close her place. But this is one of the things I was going to talk about.
If it was closed, why would
Well,
anybody
that's what's good
be
for the
there?
Christmas, not good for
She
the
called.
internet.
What happened was Nancy Pelosi called a stylist that she had used before, or no, she had called personally. She had one of her assistants call. They set the appointment up. It had been approved for one person at a time inside of there, like that. You could do that one person at a time.
Oh, okay.
You're supposed to wear your mask the whole entire time.
Right.
She goes in and does that, and then all of a sudden, she doesn't wear a mask inside the building, and then all of a sudden, it's the salon owner's fault that she broke her own rules, her own government's rules, California government's rules, her government. So all of a sudden, it's her fault she was set up.
Did the stylist have a mask on?
I never saw the stylist in the video. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She had a mask
As
on.
a matter of fact, I think they
In Florida,
Everybody was wearing masks except her. Her assistant was wearing a mask and the stylist.
I don't know how California is, but in Florida, I'm required to wear a mask, but the customer is not.
Yeah, well, no, in California, everybody's supposed to wear a mask everywhere.
California is
Especially
the
bank
parents.
Yeah,
of
well,
the People's Republic.
right. Especially when they're out on the streets doing their business in the middle of her sidewalks.
Oh, speaking of which, you know what happened in California?
Earthquake.
Actually, no.
No, that was
There was
Florida.
like a bunch of homeless people in Nancy's area of town. They were up underneath the overpass, and they were so nice to each other. They were giving each one flu shots up underneath
Oh, yeah.
the interstate there.
Except it wasn't
Right up
flu
underneath
vaccine,
the
was it?
high five.
Yeah. A little
Oh,
smack.
boy.
Let's
the
go.
other thing
Yeah.
that was really cool was what they hung outside of her house on that tree. That was really cool.
All right, let's go.
Okay,
Moving on.
last thing.
I love you guys.
Last thing.
Yeah.
I find it utterly despicable that any news source would print a story like they have printed about Donald Trump. It is utterly despicable to print something with anonymous sources that say anybody talks about our military the way they did. The Atlantic, you are garbage.
Oh, yeah. That's
You are just pure out and out garbage. He has people coming out that don't like him, John Bolton, at all. Wrote a book that's full of lies, but still doesn't like him because he wrote that book that's full of lies. Standing on national TV going, I was there that day at the time that was supposed to be said. I never heard him say anything at all like that. So, you people are despicable. Anything for political gain. It is sickening to me that you would attempt to just defame a man's name like that using our dead military members. You're sick.
Fully
That's
agree.
my final thought. Guys, I'm not going to go any further than that. I hope everybody has a very, very good holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Be safe in what you do on the roads. People are crazy. Other than that, have a great time.
Big John, final thoughts.
Drive safe. Don't use your phone and drive.
Great call.
Be very careful.
Yeah.
If you're going to drink for Labor Day, have a designated driver. If you cannot have a designated driver, tow companies will do it for free. AAA is doing it for free. A lot of lawyers' offices are doing it for free. Call an Uber.
Call the on the spot guys. Call the on the spot guys.
Except I'll be at the beach.
Okay.
I'll come pick you up from the beach.
Yes, Mother, there are a lot of people that are above the
Yes,
law
they
in this
are.
country.
You're right.
They shouldn't be.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, sir. Dave Holland.
Well, I think we had a great show tonight, and I think that we're going to have a better show Tuesday night. So I just like to say to my viewers, tune in Tuesday and tell your friends, hit those likes and subscribe.
Thank you, David. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Weather wrap up and
It's going to rain. Oh, sorry.
weather wrap up and final thoughts.
Actually, Byron hit it on the head. Rain returns to the forecast starting tomorrow. Afternoon showers and thunderstorms coming back into the forecast. It's still going to be hot. Heat index in the triple digits, folks. Again, great show tonight. Love me some tornado football. Only going to get better as we go on. Looking forward to hearing what kind of interesting little reactions we get out of Wildcat Country. And looking forward to another great show on Tuesday.
All right, I got one thing that is very important. Here this past weekend, we've had 2 ATV accidents. One in Lincoln City area, the other one northwest 71st Street.
At 71st Avenue.
Yes, 71st Avenue. People, you gotta use safety when riding those things. You should wear the right PPE while riding those ATVs. And you're not supposed to have them on the highway in there's been plenty of times I've drove down 100 where I have actually seen people drive an ATV on the road down 100.
Sure.
So, I mean, that right there has got to stop. They're not allowed to be driven on the roadway. They're not a licensed vehicle. They're not supposed to be on the road. And I tell you, if the highway patrolman sees you, it's going to be a ticket, and you're going to lose your ATV because they don't play.
You got that right.
So come on, people, let's start using common sense, and also teach your kids safety on those ATVs that they're going to be riding them.
Real quick on it, just to piggyback on that one, and don't think that it's kids.
No,
We had the individual in the Lincoln City crash was a 55-year-old female patient who was critically injured. The second crash occurred off 71st Avenue when it was an ATV flipped over when it was run off the road by a pickup truck. So you got to share the road. In both cases, we had serious injuries. ATVs are not toys, folks. We've got to teach everyone, and again, youth as well as older adults. We've got to be more careful of these things because people die from these things. It happens every year.
Hey y'all! I want to say that I love all my guys here on the spot. My closing thoughts: Brother Byron, Brother John, Brother David, Brother Michael, Brother Mitchell. We're all a great team. Brother Austin, forgot about him. We're all brothers. We're like family. Just want again to thank you guys for what you do. How we all have each other's back, and I want to leave you with a movie trivia thought. And I'll let you think about it for a minute as I say this final closing thought. Here we go, the reference. Look at the scoreboard. Are they really 38 points better than you are? I would not trade you for them. You know what movie that's from?
Yeah, I think I do.
Do you? I'll let you go ahead and take a guess. What do you think it is? Look at the scoreboard.
Friday Night Lights.
No, but close. Are they really 38 points better than you? I would not trade you for them.
It's the Titans.
Remember the Titans?
We are Marshall. Big guy played in the movie. An exhibit played in it. X to the Z.
The Blind Side?
Close. Y'all named every one of but one. The Gridiron Gang.
Yep.
I was
about to say
I was sitting here thinking.
I was going to say the longest yard.
That's what I was going to say.
That wasn't the longest yard.
No.
Yeah.
So the Gridiron Gang, because I'm going to say something right
That's one I
here.
haven't seen.
Baker County was not 27 points better than you were. You play that game 10 times on even scenarios. I bet it's 5-5, 6-4, possibly Bradford. And I would not trade you for them any day of the week. And these guys will tell you that right now. I will keep you guys all day long. You guys got heart. You guys got talent. You guys got skills. You've got a great coaching staff. Coach Tomlinson and your staff, y'all did a great job last night. I know you're going to go back and re-prepare so we can play another arch rival in the Keystone Heights Indians. They'll be coming here. I know you'll have the team ready to be prepared and ready to play. I love all you guys. And again, Bradford Tornadoes, from all of us, we would not trade you for them. I don't care about Scooby Graham. I don't care about those guys. They're great athletes, but I would not trade you for them, ever. On behalf of Byron Bagwell, Mr. John Probst, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. Michael Heater, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, have a great and safe rest of the Labor Day weekend. Have a great work week. And we're going to see you Tuesday night right here on the spot. God bless you guys. Great night.
Good night, everybody.
Hasta luego.
Beats and diseases.
Nancy Simosi.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, good afternoon.